She puts her head. Oh, Dad, look. Simon, it's you. Look, no teeth.
Yeah, he says yes. Yep, go for it, he says. Yeah. No, it didn't.
It survived, didn't it?
Yeah, it survived. It's like a war horse. It wouldn't be
Chunk it over and I haven't got it. I was going to say, because you could have done all the calls for stand to your horses and prepared them out.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't be an officer. I like being an officer. It's my national inclination. Kindly, haven't you? You haven't got to hurt them. But they're very strong animals.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to number 12 Army Remount Depot demonstration team. Currently our horses are resting in the stables out of the heat of the day. In about half an hour after the 3 o'clock gun, over in the trench lines, we'll be bringing them out, mounting up and doing our skillet arms demonstration for this afternoon. There we will be telling the true story of the acquisition and training of horses and mules during the First World War.
Yes, it's very free film. Yeah, we took 21. The other one should be like this.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Help plan.
Write your names, yeah, I wanted to find them.
Watch out, if you touch that for a minute, just touch it for a minute.
How long were you waiting for?
Look!
Make sure you lower yourself because we've got enough problems to deal with our own casualties, let alone unnecessary ones like yourselves. It is. It's a medical facility. It's where we try and make the poorly soldiers better. You're a clever lad. Some people haven't got it when they walk past, despite the big red cross. That's very kind, madam. Thank you very much. Trying to raise some funds for combat stress. As you come around the corner, next to each other, there's a low beam,
Look at all the different hats I've got up, Aidan.
Left, please. Back way.
Move her, Aidan. Aidan, out of the way.
Thank you. That habitat thing a bit.
Mum, I think we were allowed down there.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, we are, but
That one goes out.
Cool man. Look, I'll try to find me the toilet there. Look,
I'll be no good. I'll go strong.
That's your neck.
You should phone them.
How can you do it?
It's very significant for the gun being fired at 3 o'clock.
Take a picture of it. Okay? Take a picture of the dead end.
It's just a time that they've agreed with Blandford Camp that we can fire.
It's all to your right.
Anything up to 570 yards away.
That's the fuse.
That's the fuse. Yeah, you can either go off an impact, or you can time the fuse so the thing will burst in the air just above the target to cause damage. Some of these were gas filled, so of course you want those to go off in the air above the Okay.
I'm just waiting.
Hope you guys interested.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And it's all this too big for 2 days.
Yeah.
But it's that one wanted. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
I said I was surprised they didn't charge everyone to come in because it would go.
Yeah, there's some real. Here was the
For those of you who can't hear what Major Pucky is saying, he's explaining to the ride how to correctly spear your officer in charge. I'm not too sure this is a very wise manoeuvre, but we'll do it. Major Pucky is going to exchange a blank sword for a real one. There you have a successful run with Major Pucky, and we're going to do it. We're going to now do that at full speed with the whole ride. Correct, Mr. Pucky? By all means, ride in the meantime. Draw swords, please, gentlemen, if you haven't already. Major Pucky draws. Fine demonstration. 1, 2, 3 for 3, ladies and gentlemen. He actually carries the target with him. Well done, Major Pucky, for ruining my course. Audrey, his horse, his poor benighted horse, who puts up with an awful lot for Major Pucky. Lovely little horse this. We've been, Dave and Audrey have been together for some time. So we're going to reset the course, and the ride will file off to the left and go down to the end of the line, please. File left. Sarah. And once Mr. Jarvis resets the course, every year I have a member of the team who destroys the course. And we've exchanged one person who destroys the course for another one now. The trouble is, the new one is a major, so we can't really get rid of him. So, at the end of the run, Bo Garrigan on solo. Coming up. 1. Nearly would have got that one. 2. McFadden on Manzo, an Appaloosa horse, very fine animal. 1. That would have gone if it hadn't fallen out. Reset, please, James. Nearly. Doug Hall, just waiting for the course to be reset by our ground crew. Please, while I remember, because I do forget sometimes, can a round of applause for our ground crew, please? Without our ground crew members, we can't do our show. Young James Ingram there. Serving soldier in the Royal Logistics Corps. On his weekend off, what does he do? He comes and plays soldiers. Doesn't get enough of being a soldier during the week. James, I've known all his life. He's been doing this since 5 years old. Yeah, since you were 5. And yeah, he's currently serving in Deep Cup with the ROC. Just waiting for Manzo to clear the track, and then James Smith on Chico, an Argentine Criollo horse. We did actually have a number of horses from Argentina and South America sent to the First World War. Only a few thousand from each country. There you go. Nearly free for free. Yeah, the South American horses weren't particularly well received by the British Army, and in fact the French started using the South American horses instead of us, and we kept to the North American and American and Canadian horses more so. Just at a point of interest, the Australians who served on the Western Front, they brought their own horses from Australia, and that was a very long journey. James just resetting the balloon. And we have Gary Crosby on Bueno, a fine Andalusian horse. Very good officers type horse, this one would have been. 1, 2. Oh, Gary Crosby there, ladies and gentlemen. He's a, in real life, he's a film and TV stuntman, would you believe? And he also does elephant dentistry. So if you do have a dentist in your a dentistry problem with your elephant or rhinoceros, Gary is a man to see. Just nearly got in the way of Serena there on Maggie. I didn't notice you were coming up then. Bo again on solo. 1, 2, 3. Round of applause please there, ladies and gentlemen. 3 for 3 there. Bo went over the target yesterday. He came off his horse because his horse Solo didn't see this big bag, white Hessian bag, and Solo was so keen to do the job he went straight over the top of it. And Bo is riding with a slightly busted hand. How's your hand today, Bo? His sword hand is okay, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, double run. By all means, I'll get out of the way. That's it. Okay, one more run. Off you go. I'll stay here. Double. Well, you go, Doug. Well done. That's okay. One more run on this, ladies and gentlemen. One more run, because we've only got one more balloon left. We'll keep going until the balloons are all gone. So, Jim Smith, Legion of Frontiersmen again. 1, 2, 3. 3 for 3. Well done. Nelly, a fine Menorcan pony. Very fine Menorcan pony. Greatly improved. Serena, use this course. And Dave, would you like to do one more run on this side? In the meantime, guys, put up swords, put up swords. And we're going to give Major David Bucky one more run on the last surviving balloon to show you how it's really done. Dave is fully equipped up here for a First World War cavalryman. You notice he's got his sword with a hay net and the water bucket on one side, and a rifle, SMLE rifle on the other, with his, that's for full equipment that a horse would carry. David, on this side, please, we've got the only balloon here.
Which one? That one? Someone tilt the balloon around.
Dave's a very perfectionist. Dave's in fact a member of the British tent pegging team and the Royal Logistics Corps team, and he goes around the world in fact doing tent pegging and skillet arms demonstrations. Very successful team. One, two, and no target on the end, but it would have got there. Well done, round of applause please, ladies and gentlemen. Right, the next weapons that we're going to put up and show you and skillet arms is the lance. As I mentioned, the British Army had 3 types of weapon that they carried during the First World War: sword, rifle, We don't carry rifles in the remount depot basically because it's just extra weight for our horses. If you want to go and see rifles, there's plenty of them in the trench because by this time we changed from carbines and everyone, the artillery, the cavalry and the infantry had the same rifle. But that's an SMLE rifle right there, 10 rounds rapid fire. It's a very, very good weapon, very effective. And the cavalry would go into the front lines with this one. But the only trouble with a cavalry regiment going into the front lines is that one man in every 4 had to stay behind and look after the horses. So you were a depleted unit before you even reached the front lines. But several regiments, most of the regiments of the British Army of Cavalry did serve some time in the front lines at one time or another. Other duties of the cavalry would have been prisoner escort and patrolling and reconnaissance. So we're issuing the lances now. And the lance is a very old weapon, goes back thousands of years, but the British Army started using them after the Napoleonic Wars of 1816. The reason because we'd come across them during the Napoleonic Wars with the French and Polish lancers. It's a 9-foot bamboo lance, and it's very sharp, very effective. It's also a psychological weapon, so much so that by 1914, there were Lancer regiments such as the 9th Royal Irish Lancers, as well as the 16th and the 17th Lancers, the Death or Glory boys. But there were also one squadron in every regiment, including Hussars and Dragoons, had at least one forward squadron armed with lances, as much as for psychological purposes as it was for military purposes. So over to Dave Puckey again to demonstrate the use of a lance. Don't Zulu spear it across the arena or into the crowd because they won't like it. Okay, where you hold the lance, find the centre of balance. Go back about 1 to 2 inches. You'll find the point naturally comes to the ground. That's where you need your lance. That's your grip. Your grip should have the thumb up. A lot of you this morning went like that. So just now, go like that. Just a fist. Pick a point in front of you and try and point at it. Now keep your thumb down the side for a minute. Thumb down the side, like that. Now point at something. Is it a bit difficult? Yeah? Put your thumb on top. Point at the same thing. Point at the next thing. Point at the next thing. It gives you an idea where your lance point is and where it's going. So keep this thumb on top. What you need to do now is get lance at the carry. So butt in the bucket or on your toe. From there, that's where you have it when you're waiting. The point's up out the way, it is safe. When you need to actually go for your peg as you're coming to the line, get your point of balance, little finger on the seam of your breeches, point over the left ear. That is called the trail. Keeps the butt tucked in and the point safe. From there we salute, up and down. The judge says you can go. That means the course is clear. Watch out for our ground crew, don't run them over. They don't want to have to run that fast. You then get into the galloping position. You would actually be galloping on a real run. Today we're going to do it at walk, trot and then a bit of canter. Yeah, we haven't got room in here, people, to gallop. So what you then do, you bring the lance to engage. Up, your body weight shifts to the right. So you clear your lance bucket and your foot. Lance vertical, punch, drop to your peg, hits the peg, look under your armpit. If you don't look under, whack, the butt gets you on the back of the swede and it is going to make you see stars. Sit up and swing forwards. As you sit up, sit deep bring the lance back into the trail and rein up your horse gently. Yeah, don't have to screech it to a halt in 2 strides. And then, carry, lance, back into your bucket. Okay, all happy with that? Let's see what happens. Trail, lances. Salute. Trail. Galloping. Engage. Get those lances up to vertical. First frontiersman, up to vertical. To here, like you're going to punch someone. That's it, put everywhere else. Punch forward. Look at your peg. Drop your point. Keep your arms straight and get it down by your boot. And recover. Spin backwards. Look under your armpit. Sit up. Keep that arm straight. Okay, no bending elbows like we saw this morning. Keep your arms straight. Yeah, that keeps the lance under control. If you bend your elbow, it could be doing that. And if I was lower, Andy would really not be happy with me because this is not a practice lance. Okay, so keep the lance so it comes up and forwards with a straight arm. It's all about keeping it safe. And then back to the trail, back to the carry once you've halted. Okay, everyone happy with that drill? Do you want to do it once more? Yeah, trail, lances. Salute. Trail, gallop. Get down and low. Engage. Bit more vertical. That's it. Punch. Drop to your boot. Hand to your boot. And recover. Sit up and keep that arm straight. It won't hit the ground if you sit up first. Okay, and trail. There you have the lesson to the school. This would have been done day in, day out, regular as clockwork at remount depots. Repetition is very much an aspect of late Edwardian First World War military training, very much as it is today, in fact. And you would have performed these manoeuvres not only on foot, without the horse, but also on a wooden horse. And these actions which you see now would have come like nature, second nature to the soldiers performing them. So it's quite difficult for our guys here because we only do this at weekends. We're not professional soldiers, as some of you might have noticed. And these things are only learnt on the times that we are away doing our shows, and we're not doing this every day of the week. So it is a very difficult thing to pick up and remember and work on when we're back at our own horse yards. Most of us here, most of the horses you see here are owner riders. We own our own horses. Major Pucky's horse is his own, mine's my own. Gary and Sarah Crosby, Gary and Sarah, there you go. Good successful lads. Own a lot of them, and Jim and Nick own theirs. So they're our own horses, most of these. Major Pucky stands at the end of the line and acts as a brake or a magnet. The horses will run towards that horse at the far end. When the other horses get to the other end, Major Pucky will leave and reform the line. Nellie's playing up a little bit here at the moment. She's a very, very fine horse. Look at that lovely arching neck. If Nellie won't behave, Jim Smith, you're going to go. Do your salute in your own time. Go, gentlemen. Just in control, get the action right. Thank you very much. And you hit the target, Spries. Well done. Reset, please, James. It's all about control. It's all about control and keeping the animal doing what you want to do. You can have speed and endurance and everything else, but at the end of the day, if you've got no control of your horse, you're a liability not only to yourself, but also to those who are going. Gary wants to get going. Keep going, James. The other peg behind you. There you go. Clear the course. In your own time, guys. Didn't do your salute, Douglas. Remember that next time. Well done, well done. Carried the lance, recover it, recover it. Two ladies here now going from a remount section. Well done, Sarah, nice technique, well done. Out, down, through, would have got that one. Reset, James, thank you. Together. Maggie, the white horse that Serena's riding, fairly new to this game. Only the first season that we've had her. Young subaltern Ingram there running about, causing a heat. Bo would have got that one. Major Pucky, oh, flying shabash. You on time, gentlemen, please, thank you. Off you go. Nicely done, in control, nicely done. So this game of tent pegging, very popular still around the world. It's very popular in India, Pakistan, in the Middle East, as well as in Europe. In fact, Dave Puckett, where was the last time you went to, Dave? Yeah, he's just come back recently to India. They do it slightly different there. They do it over a much larger course, and at the full gallop, it's all out really crazy stuff over in India. The way they do it, slightly different, shorter lances, but the idea is the same. Very competitive. Some of the guys were doing a tent pegging demonstration in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago. And the horses really love this game. Once they see the lances coming out and the pegs going in, yeah, they really get into it. Okay, when you're ready, gents. Billy, the nice hunter, thoroughbred. Two far out, wobbling there. We'll do a few more runs. Fairly hot for us today, ladies and gentlemen, so please bear with us. We're taking it fairly easy. Course is clear. Go, ladies, please, go. Oh, no. Hit it, there you go, Serena, well done. We'll do one more run each, gentlemen, one more run. Mr. Pucky and Mr. Garrigan again. Oh, watch yourself there, Bo. That's cheating, Mr. Garrigan, that you confused your opponent. Well done, Mr. Pucky, for recovering. You are not meant to cross the line. That section D, solo, very little, small horse, like its rider, small but wiry. But very, very lively horse at solo. Nice little animal to ride, but you have to know what you're doing. It's a bit of a sports car. One more run for Nick and Jim. Off you go, James. Well done. Turn around. Nice action there, Jim. No, don't worry about that, James. Right. Douglas and Cowie. One more run, please. Well, nice technique and pick the target up. Billy, don't worry, don't do it, Doug. Discretion, better part of valor. He's getting a bit excited. We'll leave the honour of the last run to the ladies. This will be the last run for tent pegging. Do a good one, girls. Nelly became a little bit of a leap. Well, lovely one. Round of applause, please, there for Sarah. Lovely, lovely. Got it just right. And Serena too. Well done. Big round of applause. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Right, what we're going to do now is come along to the horse lines. We're going to put our weapons up, put them down, give them to the hand crew. And again, one more round of applause, please, for our ground crew. Thank you very much. What we're going to do now is called Pat the Pony. We're going to come up to the horse lines, and you can go and pick whatever horse and rider you want to talk to, and they're going to stay on the horse and talk to you. to you for as long as you wish. Just after this, in the top corner, we're going to pull Meg the mule out of her stable, and she's been waiting patiently to have her time in the daylight. And Sergeant Jamie Quinn of the Army Service Corps is going to give you a demonstration in about 10-15 minutes time about the use of a mule in the First World War with a pack and harness display and talk. Jamie Quinn, very experienced horseman, member of the Army Service Corps, but in a previous life was also a member of the RAF Regiment. And he owns a small farm up in Lincolnshire. I promise not to say it, but Jamie was on Country File a couple of weeks ago on television with his work with veterans with PTSD, and he's very successful in doing a programme with veterans with troubles who come on his farm and learn a new skill and learn to adapt to civilian life via the use of farm horses. So that's a nice little story. One little point before we go, I'd like to announce, just before we got on our horses today, it was a great surprise. I was told that we had to be here for 3 o'clock because Martin Oliver was going to come up and had to see me, and I thought, oh no, we're going to get fired for this. We've done something wrong. And in fact, this team here today, all of the team, not myself, but all of my team, we have won this year's award for Best Display in Show for 2017. I've got a lovely cup in my truck there now. I think that guarantees that we get invited back next year, just because Martin Oliver wants to get his cup back. And it's a very proud moment and a great surprise, but without the help of my team here, we wouldn't have been able to get that prize and the cup. So again, one more round of applause for my team. Well done. Thank you ever so much, guys. That team also, I hope to think, is also working in the far side. And when you leave here, once you've spoken to the horses and the riders, we have a team of Royal Engineers over on the far side building Pillbox 100, which is a commemorative display to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Battle of Third Ypres or Passchendaele. And Major William McGill, Royal Engineers, is in charge of a team of serving Royal Engineers, former servicemen and civilians, building the pillbox. And as you go into the trench system, you'll see that in operation. They're putting the roof on today, and hopefully it'll be completed. So in the meantime, in about 10 minutes, Sergeant Quinn will be up in the top corner with Meg the mule. And if you want to talk to any of the riders, we'll be here for another 10-15 minutes at least, okay? Thank you very much. We've been 12 Remount Depot Display Team. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Ha ha ha!